like we always do at this time. Cookie cold blowing.
Oklahoma City landed the Thunder in a fine Western Conference battle here at the Chesapeake Energy Arena. Thanks for joining us on this Tuesday night edition of the NBA and all its great action on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony, and on the sideline tonight, Doris Burke. And the Spurs looking for a positive start here on their road trip. This is a team in great mid-season.
And really, he epitomizes what a point guard should be. I mean, his skill as a passer might actually be matched by that creativity he shows around the rim.
Well, judging by that jam, Greg, I'd say you're absolutely right.
Boy, that's a nice surge for them just when they needed it in a game that was so tight.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play. Kiwi Steven Adams, one of the toughest players down on the block.
And Kevin Adams is not afraid to get under somebody's skin. He's pretty strong defensively, too.
And that one's good. Durant.
Talk about a great start. 3 of 3 from the field to get the game going. They're cooking with gas, folks.
Parker outside. Now in the scoring column with that deuce. 1 for 2 this game.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Westbrook kicks to Durant. Passes it to Roberson. Tried to come right back with the 3 of his own, but it's no good.
And really, despite that miss, they've had a solid start offensively. And he's really been working to get those looks, and it's starting to pay off here early on.
And so just over a minute and a half played. Westbrook passes to Durant. Westbrook dishes to Ibaka. Durant for 3. That's good. Durant's got 7 points.
4 or 5 shots have dropped for them already. Not a bad way to get things started.
And Parker, here we go. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. They come in fresh off a win against the Heat.
A lot of firepower coming off the bench in that game really allowed them to escape with victory.
I thought the bench was the X factor for him. You can't rely on that kind of scoring coming from the reserves every game. But when it shows up, it's a nice weapon.
And here we go with Westbrook running it up the court. And it's off from three-point range. San Antonio's gone 1 of 3 from beyond the arc so far in the game. Here's Leonard. That's good, and so Duncan with the assist.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
The Thunder leading by 4. Here's Westbrook. Oh, and that one, no question, powered it down.
And what a beautiful way to polish off that sequence. Just strong and attacking the rim.
That just puts a little more momentum on their side, don't you think?
Absolutely.
The defense got to tighten up now. I mean, you can't have the opposing point guard throwing down on you like that.
Durant with a wide open look. His three-pointer's off the mark.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Last game for the Spurs, they picked up the W against Dallas.
And we've talked about how in the NBA you've got to earn your points the hard way, and that really wasn't the case in that game for them.
No, there was no hard way about it. I mean, they got their points easily on dunks and layups against the defense that really didn't offer much of a fight.
And Ibaka kicks to Roberson. Plenty of space. No good. And San Antonio will go the other way with it. Their last meeting was in Oklahoma City, where they were unable to fight off the Thunder.
And really lucky that they weren't blown out in that game, because I just thought the effort was lacking.
They just couldn't hit on anything that worked for them, no matter what approach they used.
Here's Parker. And it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line.
Tim Duncan, even in his advanced years, showing you that great vision and still getting it done. Nice pass.
And, of course, Tony Parker, so big for San Antonio in those championship runs. But word on the street was that Spurs coach Greg Popovich didn't always go easy on Tony. He really pushed him to the limit.
Yeah, you know, it started back when Tony was invited to the Spurs summer camp before the 2001 draft. And one of the scouts was really physical with Tony, really gave him a hard time, and that was really the start of his maturation process in learning to deal with the NBA.
Stolen by Westbrook.
And really, these teams don't even look like they belong on the same court today.
I don't think they do, based on what we've seen, a double-digit lead, and we're still in the first. Ouch, that's painful.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. When you think about guards who play without fear or any hesitation, Russell Westbrook is the first of those guys to come to mind.
I tell you what, man, his relentless pursuit and attacking of the goal and his opponent is really something to watch.
It's Parker outside, and he gets the bucket. Parker's got 10 points in the game.
Great quarter for him at the offensive end, trying to will his team back in the game.
Outside Westbrook. No good on the shot, a bit long that time.
And for Westbrook, he had some high praise. Allen Iverson said he's a huge fan of Westbrook and sees so much of himself in him, mostly due to how they play with heart. I'll tell you the other thing, Allen Iverson I always felt was the most intimidating small guard in the history of the league. Russell Westbrook rapidly trying to claim that honor.
Boy, but he was close, Kevin, to making the defense pay for lackadaisical coverage there.
Yeah, you may not be as lucky next time down if you're the defense. You cannot allow him to get those kinds of looks.
A strong finish under heavy pressure all over. Westbrook's got 13.
You know, I was thinking back to that Iverson quote on Westbrook. They play with that same fire. The styles in which they play are different, but you can see the intensity is the same between them. How about the purpose with which he's crashing the backboards right now? Some hard-earned second chance points.
Oh, he's just angling from the rim after sending it through there.
You can see which team now has the swagger Clark right now.
Yeah, it's with them.
And guys, that swagger can backfire because you don't want to get your opponent a little too riled up. And really, the scoring this quarter has been just off the charts, doing all he can to bring them back.
And he gets the bucket. 17 points in the game.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
And, Greg, those looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
A really good rebound in traffic. That's what the big fella's there for.
Hits the front of the rim and out.
Most of the time, that shot will go down. Boy, the defenders have to make sure they tag him.
Here's Parker. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City.
You know, he's been off his game this quarter just a bit. Hasn't been able to get a whole lot to go so far.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
From the arc. Parker with another miss.
Some of the shots he's taken have been real head scratchers. I mean, come on. He's out there playing like it's a game of horse at the park.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
San Antonio calls timeout.
You look at Kevin Durant, and he does have a bit of an unusual body type. Still is fairly thin, even after 8 years in the league. Yet up until last season, he's been one of the more durable players in the league. Kind of like Reggie Miller in that regard.
A different look for Oklahoma City. Cantor checked in for Steven Adams. Dion Waiters comes in for Roberson. And it's Payne in for Russell Westbrook. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. West is checked in for Duncan. Diaw comes in for LaMarcus Aldridge. Manu Ginobili's checked in for Green, and it's Mills in for Parker. Talking about Durant's physical makeup, some scouts were actually worried about his athleticism when he declared for the draft after just 1 year at Texas. At the NBA Combine, Greg, you were talking about this. He posted some of the worst numbers of all the top prospects.
He did, but I tell you what, he did blow people away with his length. 6'10", with a 7'5" arm span. I mean, that makes up for a whole lot in this league. And as we've seen throughout his Hall of Fame career, I think it's worked out pretty nice.
I think it has too. Corner shot. Good for another bucket. He's made half a dozen now, 6 for 8 on the night.
Everything going according to the script for them offensively so far.
Clark, shots be falling. That's for sure. They're scoring with a tremendous amount of confidence.
You went straight playground old school there, partner. That was a good rebound right there, but they haven't been very strong on the glass so far.
Clark, a little disparity there in the rebound numbers, but some of that comes down to how the ball bounces. Let's see if it evens out.
Here's Diaw. No good, and they can't put an end to this drought. The Thunder leading by 13. It's Durant with the drive. Great D that time from Leonard. Here's Diaw. The Spurs rebound. Ginobili the pass to Leonard. Goes right through for bucket number 3. He's a perfect 3 for 3 to start.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Payne kicks to Cantor. Played in with a nice touch off the glass. And the Thunder lead by 13.
Right. Let's go. Now, they've done a great job of getting into the middle of that defense and scoring in the paint.
And that's why they're on this run. You get that close to the hoop, and it's a lot easier to make shots.
Mills with the steal. Leonard, that's for 2. And Cantor pulls it down. Oklahoma City's gotten just 2 of 6 to fall from three-point range so far in the first. Got that one up quick. 15 points for Kevin Durant.
That makes it 10 of their last 12 points coming from inside the painted area.
And really something that the defense has to address.
Mills dishes to Diaw. And the rejection by Ibaka. We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. And then Durant with the jam.
And the offense has come together immediately. I mean, they're threatening to run away with this thing already.
Greg, it's hard to imagine they'll stay this hot for 4 quarters, but if they even approximate that, watch out.
The Thunder leading by 17, and Patrick Mills gets that whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Now here's Payne. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. From deep, Morrow, and the shot is good.
And as they continue to just dominate this game, you have to wonder how much can they win by.
Well, it's on the verge of getting out of hand, Greg. You can feel it, you can see it, in part because the defense has been about as good as the offense, and both have been really good.
Here's Payne. He got it up in time. And a moment now to hear from Steven Adams as he reflects back on a life growing up as the young.
So, like, the youngest over there has to do everything, like, all.
Hard to imagine growing up in such a huge family, but it sounds like maybe it prepared him for life in the NBA.
Yeah, got him outside of himself and toughened him up a little bit. No question about that. Wow, 18? That's mind-boggling.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
Welcome back, everyone. A lopsided first quarter in the books already as we start this second quarter. And for the Thunder here, they've been putting on a show, guys.
You know, they're not going to